Good evening from Washington. I'm Larry O'Connor.
Hey there. Is this seat taken? You work for Pfizer. My question for you is, why does Pfizer want to hide from the public the fact that they're mutating the COVID viruses?
Is this real life? I'm literally a liar. I was trying to impress a person on a date by lying. This is absurd.
Please don't touch me. Well, this is not. By the way,
Why are you doing
don't
this?
tell anybody.
To someone who's just working at a company to literally help the public. You f***ed up. You really did. Please bring the cops as soon as possible. I'm really very unsafe.
Can you please unlock your door?
No, don't let them leave.
Please unlock the door.
What is going on here?
Please unlock. Please unlock the door. Please unlock the door. Unlock the door. We're trying to unlock the door. Unlock the door.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. What's going on there? Of course, that's James O'Keefe with Project Veritas, and he was confronting a gentleman who has been the target of an undercover video series. His name is Jordon Walker. He is a director of research and development for Pfizer. And as you heard from his manic reaction that ended up in violence, he was he was a liar. He was lying. He was just trying to impress somebody on a date. Well, what was Jordon Walker, director of research and development for Pfizer? What was he lying about on this date? Well, that's a big part of this story. You see, just a couple of days before James O'Keefe walked into that restaurant and ended up with the first violent reaction from a target in Project Veritas's history, Mr. Walker was caught on camera saying this about the work he's doing at Pfizer.
Pfizer ultimately is thinking about mutating COVID?
Well, that is not what we say to the public. No, don't tell anyone this. You gotta probably don't tell anyone. You gotta probably don't tell anyone. Okay? We're exploring, like, now, you know how the virus keeps mutating?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we're exploring is, like, why don't we just mutate it ourselves so we can create undoubtedly develop new vaccines, right? So we have to do that. If we're gonna do that, though, there's a risk of, like, as you could imagine, no one wants to be having a pharma company mutating viruses. You have to be, like, very controlled to make sure that this virus that you mutate doesn't create something that, like, you know, goes everywhere.
Something crazy.
I suspect is the way that the virus started in Wuhan. To be honest, like, it makes no sense if this virus popped out of nowhere. And, like,
yeah, I know.
So let's just repeat who this is. Jordon Walker. He is identified, and no one has denied it. He has not denied it. Pfizer certainly hasn't denied it. He's a director of research and development, specifically for mRNA technology, which of course is the Pfizer COVID vaccine technology, saying on camera that they are working on mutating the virus. He even goes on to say that, yeah, I suspect this is how we got coronavirus out of Wuhan in the first place. Of course, something that everyone has suspected, everyone except Anthony Fauci, apparently. And of course, the Communist Party of China, who still denies that that's how the virus got let out. In fact, I think the last official line from the Communist Party in China is that the virus came from Americans visiting China. So they're our partners, aren't they? Our global partners, China, who we can work with, blaming us for the Wuhan virus. But here he is, a Pfizer executive, for lack of a better word, saying that they're working on mutating the virus so that they can sort of get out in front of this thing. Of course, they can't say it out loud because nobody wants a pharmaceutical company doing that sort of thing. No, nobody does want a pharmaceutical company doing that sort of thing. That's how we got into this science fiction nightmare in the first place. But he says they're doing that. He goes on in this undercover video from the great people of Project Veritas to say that it might not be great for the country, but it's really good for business. The vaccines will be a cash cow for Pfizer. Yeah, I mean, it already has been a cash cow for Pfizer. It's funny how people are threatened with losing their livelihood unless they get a certain product injected into their arms, and there's only one or two companies that have a monopoly on that very product, and you've got the government and every major corporation in America literally mandating that people get it lest they lose their livelihood. It's funny how that's good for business. Wouldn't you like to be in that kind of business? Sure you would, except for the fact that you have a soul and a conscience. Which brings us back to this executive for Pfizer, who is bragging on a date that they're going to embark upon the very technology that killed millions of people worldwide, crippled the American economy, shut down our very way of life, and stagnated your children's social development and education for a couple of years that might affect them for the rest of their lives. And yeah, we're going to dabble in it too. Why not? It's good for business. So when James O'Keefe, who, by the way, I have known and worked with since 2009, he and I both worked for Andrew Breitbart at the same time when there were only about 9 of us working for Andrew Breitbart, when Andrew's big government website launched James's first major expose on Acorn. James O'Keefe walks into this restaurant and confronts this man. And let's remember once again and see what his calm, cool, reasoned reaction to being confronted was.
Hey there. Is this seat taken? You work for Pfizer. My question for you is, why does Pfizer want to hide from the public the fact that they're mutating the COVID viruses?
Is this real life? I'm literally a liar. I was trying to impress a person on a date by lying. This is absurd.
Please don't touch me. Well, this is not. By the way,
Why are you doing
don't
this?
tell anybody.
This is someone who's just working at a company to literally help the public. You up. You really did. Please bring the cops as soon as possible. I'm really very unsafe.
Can you please unlock your door?
No, don't let them leave.
Please unlock the door.
Give me, what is going
Give
on
us some
here?
stuff. Please unlock. Please unlock the door. Please unlock the door. Unlock the door. The door. We're trying to unlock the door. Unlock the door.
Jordon Walker. There you see it, folks. The new face of Pfizer, the new face of Big Pharma. Senator Marco Rubio has sent a letter to Pfizer asking for an explanation. We'd all like an explanation, a statement. It should be easy for Pfizer to say, we don't know what this guy's talking about. We're not doing research like that, but they haven't put out a statement like that. You know what I think they're doing right now? Because again, I've worked with James O'Keefe in the past on the Acorn stories, on the school union stories with Chris Christie. You'll remember that one, a couple of others. I'll tell you exactly what Pfizer's doing right now. They're getting their stories straight. See, if they come out right now and say, well, that's ridiculous, we didn't do anything like this, they don't know if James O'Keefe and Project Veritas might have another Pfizer employee on camera saying the exact same thing at another time. That's what happened with Acorn. So they're not saying a thing. They're getting their story straight. They're calling in all their employees. They want to make sure that when they do finally make a public statement, they got it locked in, locked tight, that the lawyers are on it. But see, the behavior of the gentleman you just saw in that video and the behavior of the corporate executives of Pfizer, this is not the behavior of a company or individuals that have nothing to hide. Not the behavior of people with the truth on their side. Good job, James O'Keefe. Good job, Project Veritas. I'm glad somebody out there is still interested in investigative journalism. Boy, I remember back in the day when 60 Minutes would have loved to do a story like this, but they don't seem very interested in it. In fact, they don't even seem interested in reporting on this story now that James and Project Veritas did all the hard work. There's more to come on O'Connor Tonight.